I know when I had to give up my vice president little badge, I just stopped wearing it.
All right, we're live in a second. Today. What's that?
I know when I had to give up my vice.
There it is. All right, we're live.
Good afternoon. It's Wednesday, March 18th, and I'm calling the meeting of the Isla Vista Community Services District Finance Committee to order. Present are directors Catherine Carmichael and myself, Carrie Topcliffe, chair of the committee, and we're hoping that Edward Plott will join us. In the meantime, I'd like to announce that the meeting is being recorded and make a land acknowledgement. Before we begin, we would like to acknowledge the Chumash people who are the traditional custodians of this land. We pay our respects to the Chumash elders, past, present, and future, who call this place Anascoyo, the land that Isla Vista sits upon, their home. We are proud to continue their tradition of coming together and growing as a community. We thank the Chumash community for their stewardship and support, and we look forward to strengthening our ties as we continue our relationship of mutual respect and understanding. Now we will have a public comment period, where any member of the public may speak on matters within the subject matter jurisdiction of the Finance Committee that are not on the agenda. The committee will not take any action on items not on the agenda except as provided by law. Any public comments? If not, I'll move to item 3.1, review of the 2026 budget process timeline. Take it away, Jonathan.
All right, let me.
Oh, and here we're hearing from Edward. He wants to zoom in for it.
Oh, suppose, yeah.
Sure, he can join on Zoom. Oh, I can say yes. I can say yes. Oh, sorry.
Are you telling me or are you telling him?
Oh, wait a minute.
I just texted him back.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
So, budget process timeline. It's been switched up a little bit because of conferences and whatnot. But we're doing the mediation one next week. The revenue discussion on revenue options that we're talking about today will go to the board meeting on the 31st. And then April, you'll get Public Works Department, Internal Operations Department. And then in May, you'll get the Community Engagement Department, essentially. So one and then one. We're trying to work out the safety stations one. We think that'll be fine, but sometimes UCPD needs more time.
Mm-hmm. That's been typical.
Yeah, it's been very typical. And yeah, the COLA we've pushed out because we do the March COLA and CPI, and that doesn't come out till later in the year. I don't know, they changed things up at the Bureau of Labor Statistics last year, so who knows how that stuff is going to happen now. And yeah, we're very on track to finish by June and August. We actually, Sydney reminded me, we didn't have finance committee until May last year.
Wow.
So that's why this is an early meeting to get like things, started, but definitely preliminary still because yeah, it's early still in the year.
All right, sorry about that.
No problem. We barely started on the process.
Right.
And then we are planning to do a survey in April. It's in the timeline here. I don't know where it is here. Oh, here. We were wondering if there was anything you guys wanted us to ask in the survey about.
I don't know if you're super familiar with that.
Or if you want us to do focus groups or it's been a lot lately. So it's kind of gone on the back burner of the survey, but we can still do something, but maybe not as much as before. Yeah. Because of everything going on.
Right.
We've always done a survey, and then in the years past, we've done a town hall additionally. I think survey has been the easiest way to kind of, and we have enough interns that we can do a little bit of more outreach.
Perfect, yeah. So you said focus groups, but that's pretty labor intensive and time intensive.
They can be. Groups? We did them 1 year.
Yeah.
We did town hall some years.
Okay.
Surveys always with them. So it's always been 1+1. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if the 1+1 town hall is less time and labor intensive, also maybe a little bit more expansive.
People don't really come to them. I mean, the 1 year people came was when we made it really fun and
the casino day.
Yeah.
Or yeah, that was fun.
That people actually came to that, but when you're just saying we're doing the budget town hall, people aren't interested so much in
They're
that.
just busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could it align? Could it align with those? You know how you have those? I forget the classes that you guys teach.
We're done. Those are
Oh,
done.
you're done with those. Okay.
Yeah. We do have the volunteers, the community ambassadors coming out order. So they could be tasked with helping us do some outreach work, like because they get volunteer in different tasks, and we can tell them, go table for the survey or something. So
Yeah. We could survey. We could table at Soltopia.
Yeah, that is true.
There'll be
We
people
could.
at least.
There will be people. Yeah. I mean, survey definitely, right? Carrie,
Yeah.
You wanna
survey.
see the survey?
Yeah, at the minimum.
Okay.
In terms of like focus group or town hall, how much information, so like for a focus group or town hall, how much information are we getting back from the community, or is it mainly we're giving information out?
It's a little bit of both. I feel like last year we did do a focus group where we invited the current CLE class or that had just graduated. And the CAP volunteers, and that was pretty good. We had some long-term residents attend that one. So that's always a good way to do it. We do have our IVCN network that we can utilize for something like this if we wanted to. But as far as information, I mean, the town hall, especially the casino one, not as much information in, but a lot of information out.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of depends on, the framework that we want and what we want to get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I like this. Like, is it in or out? Like, are we trying to get information? Or are we tell people about our budget?
Right.
Where the money goes?
Right.
Yeah.
Because if we're trying to get information out.
You can't do both. It's hard to do both.
Yeah.
And out is probably better in the fall when you have a new crop of people.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because like information out could go with a survey, but then we're lacking a little bit more in-depth community input, but it only comes from a couple people. Could we just do like at the bottom of the survey option to
That's
do
in there.
more?
It is in there already. Yeah.
Yeah, to reach out to them and they give their email.
And we
Yeah.
did just get another new 3,000 plus emails from our Soltopia
You got
signups for
Oh,
wristbands.
wow.
Wristbands, yeah.
So everyone has to
Wow.
get it. So we're gonna have a big
Wow.
fresh email list soon.
That's
So,
crazy,
good
isn't
news.
it? All
Yeah.
these things that you like, let's try that.
yeah.
Whoa, I would not have expected this.
people are submitting their proof of address, their email, everything. So we have
That's
their,
true.
we can contact them now.
Well, that's very interesting, experiment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Right?
No, seriously.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they'll be experiencing one of the biggest, not the biggest, but a big area of spending.
Oh, right,
So
right,
they will
right.
have, we can even ask them, maybe even after the event,
Yeah.
did you feel that the money we spent on this was worth it?
Right. That's really smart. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, has there been like another event where we got this many new emails? I mean, yeah.
No, we don't even have
To your
this
point.
many in our entire system
Wow.
right now, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we only have like 2,000,
Wow.
and that's 2,000 after 9 years.
Yeah.
Or even before the district was formed, we
Okay.
need some of those, so 11 years or 12 years is less than what we got in 2 weeks.
I repeat myself. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So, this looks like a good, timeline to me.
Yeah.
And, again, Jonathan, we appreciate all your hard work so that we can just come here and
Sydney updated
Review it.
this year.
Yeah.
Sydney made the
Sydney.
updates this year, yeah.
very nice job.
Thank you.
Very
And then are
nice.
there any priorities that you guys want to see in the survey or any questions that you'd like to see asked, or that would be my only
Our
question.
strategic plan says scenario based
Mhm.
is what we want to prioritize. But
Yeah.
like last year, we did a scenario question on like, here's the circumstances under which you just received a parking ticket.
Mm-hmm.
How would how would you feel, and what
Yeah.
would make it better? And so we asked things like that.
Yeah, no, that seems good. I mean, probably already redundant, but asking about our main priorities would be really good after Soultopia,
Mhm.
how's the funding on that?
Yeah.
Other big things that we put money towards. But again, that's probably redundant from what you already have in the survey. So I think,
Well, I think it's
Yeah.
important that you said
Yeah.
that. Like, we should ask about Soultopia, especially
Yeah.
after. We should definitely do this
Definitely do
after.
a
Yeah.
survey after, yeah.
But
ask about parking.
it's a big area of spending. And
Yeah.
a lot of people would have just experienced it. Same with parking.
Right, and then also like our rental mediation program, because that's always busy.
Yeah.
Um,
And
Yeah.
maybe has our education campaign helped you to understand the parking rules?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
That's a
that is
good question. We
Yeah.
should ask, like, have you received one of our parking flyers?
Yeah,
Have they made an impact to how you make decisions? Yeah, that's great.
right, do you understand? what's
I
going
thought
on?
it was very interesting, just reading through the payment schedule and all the different
Mhm.
things that are illegal. Like, I
Yeah.
learned some things were illegal that I didn't even know were
Yeah.
illegal.
And some of them were just for certain cities.
I
but
know,
yeah,
but
yeah,
still,
yeah.
it was pretty interesting.
Right, or something you're like, oh, I do remember that.
Working on my
DMV test.
car in the street.
Right, not allowed, not allowed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so people do it all the time.
Where else would you do it?
Right.
Not in the living room, right?
Yeah.
No, bring your car into your kitchen, actually. Yeah, no, that's good. And
I
then
think
we
we got, and it'll be later. Like it won't.
Yeah.
It usually is in April, but maybe we'll push it out to like end of April, May.
Mhm. And then if we get interns to go out and table a little bit more, that'll be good, and then save some staff time and effort with a town hall kind of thing. Although, I don't know, we still might do it. I feel like it still might be good to do a town hall, because it feels weird not to do a budget town hall, but that might just be me.
We can talk about it again at the April committee meeting.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah.
feel like things are moving in that direction. Especially if our next agenda, or one of our next agenda items is on a tax measure.
Fair.
We might want to do a town hall maybe
Yeah,
around that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it would be cool to see a more robust like outreach campaign of like, here's what's in our budget that could ideally go with a survey. But yeah, it kind of just seems like good practice to have town hall of some sorts.
So
What do you think? Do you agree?
I do.
people do have
And
these committee
maybe
meetings.
also a question, what's your biggest complaint about parking and all this stuff?
Yes.
Well,
I
they're
mean-
gonna say not enough of it.
Yeah,
That's what people are gonna say. There's no way to make more, but that's
Yeah.
the most.
Maybe like a joint town hall, not necessarily like a budget only town hall, but a town hall that also addresses other issues like parking, so that there's more reasons for people to come. And then also
Oh, yeah.
like, because I think that like hosting several different town halls is like, then I feel like that just
Yeah.
automatically decreases participation. But
Right.
like combining them all together could be better.
We might want to do like, well, I was thinking like with the cityhood
Stay in the
effort.
city.
That,
Yeah.
well, not that. It's more, yeah, we could, but that's more like pushing out info.
Yeah.
But if we did something for the cityhood study to get
Mm-hmm.
people involved, that could be,
Hmm.
we could do a town hall of some
Yeah.
kind with multiple topics. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It could be, yeah, city's hood town hall, because that's like pretty exciting. And then like a subsection could just be the budget.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
they do interact a lot, the CSD
Mhm.
budget, because like, oh, this is what the CSD budget is, it's smaller than what a city budget could be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can work on this, good
I like
idea. Edward.
I mean, I like having I mean, we can't call it a state of the city because we're not a state of the city, but a state of IB, yeah, state of the district.
It is
town.
our plan to do a state of IB.
Yeah, well, and that's, would be good to do two-way information
So
out in
it's straight from a community services district to a state?
Yeah.
the state of the, not,
You were thinking big.
Well, we'll brainstorm
no,
how to
like
do this.
status of the district.
We'll
um,
brainstorm this. So,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
We'll have a plan in April.
be good. Engagement.
All right.
But this timeline looks great.
Yeah, we have an extensive budget process, maybe more than like anybody else, way more involved. But it makes the
Fantastic.
actual approval of the budget simple.
Yes,
Because at the end, you've like already seen everything, talked about everything, it's just all now in one place and you
Yeah.
just click yes.
it's perfect. And it's good for me because I always think about something 2 weeks later.
Yeah, so it is a stretched out. All right,
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
So then I will move to the next item on the agenda. Which is, somebody help me,
on the estimated actual.
Yes,
estimated actuals.
25, 26.
All right, so these are still the simple version of the estimated actuals. And well, there's now 2 scenarios, but it's still not by program, line item by program yet, because we just need more time with our staff who are like working on the Deltopia and parking stuff. So we'll be more detailed in the future. It's again, still a little early, but this is what we presented at the board meeting. now with the new revenue, it looks like, we went from 2.2 to 2.3 million in the estimated actual, and then, 2.1 in spending, but that's like spending and with a $250,000 surplus, but that's because of the loan. It's not a real 200, like, here's the other scenario I didn't do at the board meeting yet, but if we didn't take the loan and the spending stayed as planned, our deficit would be, oh, sorry, could you turn this off so you or click OK? It's technically, so it's 42, but then we're also taking already 61 here. So it's $100,000 deficit, which is smaller than originally planned. So that's a good thing, but it's still a deficit that we need to grapple with. But it's small, it's getting smaller. It also isn't a truly realized because we don't know the parking citations.
Right.
So once we've done 2 months of parking citations, we'll be able to predict better what this year and next year's revenue will be for that. So yeah, we're gonna end the year with more money in our fund balance than we planned, most likely, regardless if we take the loan or not. And I would caution on this loan, like it's $300,000 loan that we're on the hook for paying, and yes, we have 300,000 of our own in our reserves for the program. So like, let's say we get like no revenue in tickets or very little or way not enough, we could always pay off the loan with our reserves. But that's not, I mean, and it's the way I would describe it is like, if we paid off the loan with our reserves, if we didn't take the loan, we just pay off our ongoing costs with our reserves. So one way or another, it's getting paid for. It's just, do we want to take the risk of the loan or not? And one thing I would imagine is like, maybe we just take the loan July 1st instead of April 1st, because we don't know how the bail schedule situation for the parking citations is going to play out yet. It's looking good. It's looking like we'll be able to fix those citation amounts, but we don't know. It's not there's no end in sight yet. And so that might be one recommendation is to,
well, if we don't take it, it's almost like we're paying it back prematurely. So
it's like, yeah, we're paying out the cost from our reserves.
Psychologically, that it is good for the county to have some skin in the game on this. So
for sure,
I think we should definitely take the loan.
Just
and then we'll figure out if we're paying it from citations or we're paying it from reserves. But
okay,
I think we should definitely
take it. Okay, as soon as we
do.
can, just grab it. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, there's always the chance that you get a loan forgiveness too.
That's true.
You don't get loan forgiveness unless you take the
loan. Okay, no, that's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
All right, so then we'll take the loan, which was already the plan, and then we should
we have to figure out what our repayment source is and how that
and how we do it.
And what you said just earlier, looks like we might get the citation amount resolved.
Yeah, but not this fiscal year. So that's why I already reduced the projected by half, because you would have, they're essentially in half now the tickets. So we're looking to get 30,000 in ticket revenue in April, May, and June. And now it's like we've cut into April in terms of launching for a couple reasons. So let's say if we wrote 1,000 tickets, it's still only 25,000, so 30,000 was a little even optimistic in ticket revenue this fiscal year, but it is the first year, so we're just getting started. But this is just something to note: is our revenues for that are nose diving until I mean, once all we need is 1 month of normal enforcement. Like once we have May done and we can really see like 1st through 31st how many tickets are written, we can base a lot off that. So we just don't know. It's a total mystery right now. It's the most mystery our budget has had.
Well, luckily we have reserves.
Yes, we've got plenty of reserves.
Nobody should be losing any sleep.
No, we're okay. We're doing okay.
Yeah.
And our reserves were in a better place at the end of last year than also, they aren't in a good place at the end of last year, but better than we originally thought. So yeah, we're not hurting. we're not in collapse scenario.
And you do a very good job with budgeting, Jonathan, you really do.
Thank you.
So it should pay off and you feeling confident.
No, I do. I feel good about where we're going. It's just we gotta keep fine tuning
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
We have a lot of budget decisions to look at this year for sure. Cool. Well, that's it on estimated actuals, and they'll be more detailed and specific and realistic in a month, and they will keep getting better until the end, obviously. But
For sure.
at this point, we just don't have enough information. We're doing estimates, right? Like for the festival, I'm just estimating the full cost that we originally thought it would be, like 280 to 300. It could come in at 270, it could come in at 310, right? So like that number is not precise, for example, but we know roughly what it should be. Salaries, we always just estimate we're going to spend our full salaries, but as we get closer to the end, we'll know the effects of like resignations and vacancies much better. So yeah, it's all, it's going in a good direction. These couldn't be too much more different than what they are.
Yeah.
Is what I'm trying to say though too.
All right, thank you
All
very
right.
much. And we will move ahead to budget projections for 2026-27.
Okay, so these are projections in like the quote unquote old way of how governments do it, which is like take last year's number and add a percent to it. We don't do that. Our budget's built from scratch, line by line, zero-based budget sort of thing. But this is just modeling, right? Like this is just looking at what the future may hold and how, like what the future general picture is that we need to work on, and that, you know, helps inform our zero-based budget. So let me share my screen. I don't know why I turned it off. And this is a spreadsheet you can really dig in with charts of all kinds.
Yeah.
So you know,
Our charts.
but basically this is the yellows this year, and the reds are the 2 years projected out we're looking at. We are projecting, this is a projected number even. Oh, internet dropped.
Oh, no.
Edward, can you hear us still? No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
You can.
I can still hear you.
It's just Google. Okay, never mind. Let me refresh this. All right, so we're projected to get almost exactly what we projected
Nice.
for utility tax. So great
That's
guess.
very
Yeah,
nice.
yay. Which is a 7% increase from last year. And then, you know, this number looks smaller of what our total revenue is. There's, because it adds with this one, like, because this is real revenue and this is revenue that's from reserves, right? So these add to this number, but the loan's not in here yet because the loan is also not real revenue. So this chart is supposed to look at like real ongoing revenue, not like these one-time sources. And then this is our salary expense for this year, our services and insurance costs. And so it just looks at the surplus and the deficit potentials. And again, like this is a different number because it doesn't have all of the revenues in there. And it's using budgeted, not estimated actuals. Anyways, so all that caveat, the two main numbers and projections are the two next years, right? So next year it is looking like a $70,000 deficit potentially. And that's again with knowing nothing about the parking citations. Like we just do not have a real, like it's a plugged in number for sure, but it could be higher, it could be lower, but that's what we're thinking. And then the year later it's 128. But just know that these numbers were like 200,000 deficits last year. So the deficit's in half at this point. We've definitely made reductions in staff, and we've made reductions in other areas of spending and zero-based budget and the revenue going up and without adding more costs. So things are stabilizing. Also, our revenue projections are at 5%. And we obviously had 7 and 6 the last 2 years. So very easily it could, I mean, this is just conservative initial projections. Like the closer we get to the end of the year, the more confident we can be in what the number, the percent off of, and what the percent will probably be. It's also a little distorted this year still because last year we like didn't get paid by the electricity companies for half the year, and then they paid us back double for the second half of the year. So it's hard to really track like how is this revenue source doing from year to year because it's all wrong. So only by the end of the year, when we can look at 2 full years next to each other, we can like know how much electricity has grown or not grown. And that's the biggest, it's actually the biggest source of the tax is the electricity. So we gotta wait a little bit more on that to get correct. But anyways, it's evening out a little bit, but there's still for sure a deficit. I mean, we can't say there isn't. And that means decisions still to make. But it just means that we have less hard decisions to make than we have, which is nice. And part of this deficit reduction was eliminating a position, which we did in November. So we had a waste reduction program manager and a compost project manager and a parking project manager. And we essentially removed the compost project manager and the waste project manager and then created a new position that was kind of like combination and other new things that we needed to do anyways. So we went from 3 positions to 2, and one of those 2 brings in revenue for itself. So that's the main change in deficit. So yeah, that's our projection for next year as of now. It's a very early projection, but it's like just to keep us in mind where things are headed. And again, also if we had a 70,000 is less than this year's deficit even too. So if we got to 70 and like we really couldn't make more cuts, it's not we have fund balance to afford that if we had to, and we can maybe bring that down to 50 or 30. Either way, it's a small percentage of our reserves and of our annual budget. So
what's the current fund balance?
Great question. It's about 1.9 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's still so much there.
Yeah. And like
Okay.
fund balance is
it's that number. I see revenue plus reserves.
Yeah, half the fund
Okay.
balance is like strategic reserves for changes that we can't control or to invest in things that we need. And then there's the parking reserve, which you can just say this negative 73 is caused by the parking program. Like if we didn't have that staff, we wouldn't have this deficit, actually. Really
So
wouldn't.
it seems like the budget is perfect right now because you saved money in the past to pay for what you're paying for now.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%. All right, with that's where we're at, and you guys can check out all these charts. We will make all these charts in a nice when we go to the board, but you can get the previews of all of them. That's what we're here for.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, we'll move along to item 3.4, current and projected revenue analysis.
This is not much different than what we just talked about, but I just wanted you to know that we do track all our revenue, and it's all, we have all the history of the revenue here in this chart. And yeah, like we're on track. Like this is the projected amount for this year, 1.533, and we predicted 1.530. Like we're great, like, almost exactly. Yeah, it's only happened once before, where I got the number right exactly almost. So it's looking good, and yeah, it's stabilized. It's not negative anymore. The gas prices in the world have not plummeted. Natural gas different than oil, not oil, but like natural gas was very cheap for some time, and it's going back up in price.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to use different things to like figure out how the price of natural gas will move.
That's hard to figure
It's
out.
hard.
Though.
It's impossible, but we'll see if AI can help us with that or not, and like look at past trends and all these kinds of things. That's the only one we need to really predict. The trash, it's like Marburg. It's very routine. The electricity, there was just a major change in how California charges electricity customers with like this base fee. But so far, the revenues have been up for us, like from year to year comparison, but also it's distorted. So it's hard to say yet how the new charges for electricity in California will affect our electricity tax, like how it will impact IV. Like, will we end up being a net payer or a net saver in IV? We've looked into it. Our lawyers looked into it last year. It's hard to know. Like, there's no way to know. There's 3,700 electricity customers, and like they're all different. So that's the only thing to keep an eye on. Water, I mean, there's no drought, so that's probably stable in cost. And gas, it looks like it's staying about the same, if not a little higher. And sewage, they have a 5-year plan to raise sewage rates, so it's going to be going up every year. We're in year 2 or year 2.5 or 3 of that plan. So
And I know in the past, Jonathan, you talked about doing an audit of
Yeah.
our utility payments. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are about that.
we did it, or we tried.
Uh-huh.
It's not as simple as you would think.
No, I
And
can
it was,
understand that.
the information we got was not helpful.
Huh.
Like, there's no way, like, based on the information we got from Edison and Gas, there's no way for us to know if it's right or not still, right? Like,
So do you think the vulnerability is properly identifying ratepayers who are in our jurisdiction?
which I think we did when we first set up the tax. I mean, I did it personally, and they all had a different way to do it. But I think we did capture it. Like, I don't know how we wouldn't have based on how we had done it.
And that just carries over from each year.
Yeah.
And your projections are pretty much following what you would think.
Yeah. So there's like, I mean, they will not give us the customer data, which is what you might want,
Oh, yeah.
right? To actually know.
Do an
So
audit,
we
yeah.
don't really so that's like
And it's just a
protected.
privacy thing?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they rejected, like, we were going back and forth a lot on
Oh,
like what we can
interesting.
get, what we can't get. So what we got was very general, and it was like annual collections for the whole area. I'm like, okay, I mean, I already know this.
Right, yeah.
So
Oh. That seems like not a legitimate argument when we're the legitimate recipient of funds.
yeah, but they had a lot to say on customer privacy, and like we couldn't know which units were paying how much. Like, I was like, oh, because 6852 Sabado Unit A, are they in or not? Like we can't get that information as of now. Yeah, and our legal team didn't push back when we got those pushbacks, so
Huh.
it can be something we keep looking at. We'll tell our auditors we did, and
Well, yeah,
show
I
them.
mean, if you think it's correct and you had a big hand in setting it up, then, our numbers don't seem to be full of anomalies. I
Yeah.
guess we have other battles to fight.
I mean, like, we can say that the tax is higher than what the initial projections were from before we existed. Like, when a consultant did the analysis, our
Good thing.
numbers are higher.
Yeah.
And so, and when we first started, our numbers were slightly higher, not that much higher, but like, it didn't seem wrong at the beginning, right? Like, if
Yeah.
it was projected at 600 and we got 700, it must be somewhat correct. So,
Yeah.
and Marburg, we know the Marburg one is right because of the way the trash contract is with the county. Like, IV is its own area, so we know that one 100% correct. Water district, we're very confident in too because they're a local government agency. The sewage we do ourselves, like, we assess that tax ourselves. We're not supposed to, but long story.
But you always have some spare time.
Yeah,
to
no,
do
it's
some
easy now.
calculations.
It's easy, but but it's like, we do that ourselves, so it's only up to us if we fail or not. And I think we're doing it right because we just get the numbers Gleated West, we hit that by 8%, and then that's our number. It's not that complicated. So it's gas and electricity, and those are the most opaque, and those are the ones that have, all the legal teams telling us what we can have, and the portals that you have to access. Like, I have to do a cybersecurity class.
Wow.
And test and assessment just to access the data.
Wow.
And it wasn't even customer data. So anyways, we did try to do the audit. Like, we did put our best effort into it. And it just kind of gave us nothing.
Yeah.
So we're confident in these numbers as of right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then let's move on. And next we will talk about revenue and bond options, item 3.5.
All right, well, we haven't talked about this in 8.5 years. This is a very simple presentation. It's just to get the juices flowing. Let me share my screen again. All right. So because of things like, it's really not because of our deficit. Our deficit has nothing to do with this. What we've heard and what we talked about in our strategic plan when we did it last year, like, this wasn't our strategic plan, that 5 revenue options, which we do have now, just 2 months late. So this has nothing to do with our deficit. We have to, like, make that triple extra clear. Like Edward mentioned, it is pretty much covered. It's just the parking program startup that is now, that has its own reserve fund to start up with. So this is not what this is, but if we wanted to do anything new for the community, any new services that people want, yeah, we couldn't do that. Like that is maybe because of the deficit or maybe not, because you can always cut something to add something, but it does seem like the things we're spending money on now are the core services we always said the district was formed to serve and do. So we are in a position where like any new demands on the district would need new revenue.
Right.
Clearly, like it's just, we could make more cuts and we could just stop doing certain things and reallocate funding. It just is hard to see where that could be at this point. I mean, we could keep looking at that, but it's hard to see. You know, we got the community center, we got the Ivy Beautiful cleanup, that's half our budget or more alone, for example. That's what people want. So here's some options. Utility user tax 2.0. So we're still looking at the legal analysis, but if you read Government Code 61250, it talks about an initial utility user tax between 5 and 8%, but it says initial. This is not initial. This is number 3, actually. The initial one failed, Measure F, and then the district put on Measure R, and that one passed. And so the board could potentially put on a new one, another utility tax. It could be an extension of this one, or it could be its own pot of money, like kept actually separate, or just extending this one.
For a dedicated purpose.
Yeah, but they both will need 2/3 to pass. Either way, you could put it on all 5 utilities or on less of them. So it depends. Like you could do like a higher amount on less utilities, or the lower amount on more utilities. Essentially, current tax is 1.5 million, but by the time it's grown next year, it'll be like over 1.6. So 4%, and it's easy to calculate, right? $100,000. So it's easy to know what you get out of it. And next is a parcel tax. So parcel taxes are like the most common taxes for special districts, but all special districts have parcel taxes except us because we started with UUT. It's done on kind of like a property value basis. So per $100,000 of property value for this property, you get $100 assessment. You know, $100 is an example number, but that's how it's done. And so this is, you know, at a 95% renter community, when someone sees this, they're not going to necessarily know the property value. And so they won't know how much they're getting taxed, the voters. You know, that's just one thing to know.
Or just a very few.
Just a very few. There's 41 people in Isla Vista who take the homeowner tax exemption. So that's how many people would know. And we might need a consultant to model how much money brings in. Like our property assessed value in IV is 1.3 billion. So on like rough math, you can say like 1.3 billion divided by 100,000 times $100, you can get something. But it doesn't work exactly like that, because it's like, it's not all property value. It's like this one, like this is one's 400,000, so it's only 4. And so we'll need to figure out, maybe with a consultant, that's how IVRPD has done it. They have partial taxes. This one needs a little more work, essentially. Like utility tax we can do in our sleep because we've been doing it for 9 years. This one, we might need a little help from someone. And then the next one is bedroom or door tax. It's a type of parcel tax. So parcel tax, it is like kind of like a flat tax, which you don't really see anymore too often, but IVRPD has lots of these. They have a door tax and I think 2 bedroom taxes, maybe 1, but I know they have a few. And the most recent one was a time limited tax in 2017, Measure O, that was $29 per bedroom. And it raised $750,000 in 2017. And this is not really going to change, right? Like it's not based on property value. There's probably not that many more bedrooms or less bedrooms in IV than there were in 2017. Maybe a couple more because of ADUs, but not going to change this to 900,000, right? Like we're not going to get $150,000 worth of more bedrooms. But it does have some administration to it. So IVRPD, every year I've seen it like on their agendas, like they have audits. Count the doors, count the bedrooms. Do we really know how many bedrooms there are, right? Like, what is a bedroom?
Yeah.
How do we define bedroom? The county rental inspection program came with a rental registry kind of thing. Maybe that will have the bedroom counts in it. I don't know. I've never seen it. And so, and then like even door as well, like is it front door or is it front and back door?
Right.
Right? Because door tax, yeah, if it's just the front door, then it's easy. There's, we know how many there are. But anyways, these are a little more complicated. But I guess what they do is they target the renters more, like where the renters can see their costs better. Because if it's like a bedroom and it's a flat rate though. So a bedroom with 4 people and a bedroom with 1 person pays the same.
tax, yeah.
So that's why they don't do flat taxes anymore, because it's like can be seen as unfair.
And the actual bedroom inhabitants pay the tax?
No, the property owner still
Yeah.
pays it. It's just
It's
pushed on them based on this calculation, and then they can charge their tenants on it or not. But yeah, but at least they can see it. So like if you go to vote, you'll know like I live in a room with 4 people, it's $30 per year. So we'll all pay $7.20 a year. 25 cents. And then different than taxes is a bond. And so a bond is like one-time costs. And you can't use bonds for ongoing costs. You can use it maybe for like some ongoing maintenance costs potentially, but it's not really meant for that. You get all the money at once. You see, if we did a bond for like $20 million, we'd get all 20 million, or maybe in some tranches potentially based on how you do like there's like a whole cottage industry of companies that calculate bonds and like how all the bonds work. So you bring one of those people on, they tell you how your property tax base can afford the bond. You tell them a number you want to start with. You tell them we want 20 million, we want 100 million, we want 5 million. And then they figure out what your tax base can afford and pay off and all that. And yeah, you get all the money at once, and then you do deposit that into an account, and you don't have to spend it all at once. So it starts bringing in interest as well. So like at City College, we got 60, $80 million in our first tranche, and it's generating like millions of dollars of interest that we're now using for other facility issues that weren't in the original, So, or it wasn't the original, just might not have been able to be paid for, but now we have some extra money coming in. So that's a way to do bonds. You could do the bond for like sidewalks, lighting, like sidewalks are very expensive. Lighting is kind of expensive as well. There's money for those, or it could be used as like matching money for those things. You could do improvements to the community center, for example. Could you technically do a bond-like thing with these? You could. It's like so these are already 5 options. So like 1, this is like 2 in 1, 3, 4. There is a secret 6 option, which is called like municipal bond or certificates of participation, which is essentially like using your general revenue as a bond payoff mechanism. So like you just say like, I want $5 million. You take out a loan for 5 million, and then you dedicate your ongoing revenue to pay off that loan over some time. So that's another way to get a lump of money all at once. But this is what most people do, is go to the voters for it. So these are some options. You have an open floor for discussion and questions of what we need most versus what we can, do with the most, and also just like what we think of the mechanisms themselves too.
Is a bond easier to pass than a tax? I feel like it would be, right?
No, they're the same percentage.
I know, but like just in terms of voter perception.
I couldn't tell you which one's easier to pass. It's a lot of all taxes in Isla Vista have passed except Measure F.
Okay.
Measure O passed, it wasn't a bond. I don't remember the last time there was a bond in IV. It's not when I lived here. I think there was a park bond in the 90s. Yes, there was a park bond in the 90s, and that expired. And then that's why they did Measure O. It was like a keep the same price we're paying, but now it's for something else. So the last bond wasn't for like 30, 40 years here. But again, Measure R passed with 85%, Measure O passed with 80%. We have a question in the which is, will any of these proposed taxes or bonds be restricted funds or general funds? So as a special district, all of our taxes are kind of special taxes, so they have to be dedicated towards certain purposes. We don't have general funds technically like a city does. So like a city, they'd have a sales tax, and if you pass a new sales tax, it is general fund. So you could spend on anything, even if you said in the campaign it's for a certain thing. For us, we'll have to write the measure to say what it's for. And so it will say, like our measure R said, to fund improvements to parking, community facilities and events, lighting, what, all the things we do, graffiti abatement, whatever. To fund these things, do you approve a tax of X? And so that's why we spend our utility tax only in those things. We don't go and fund the wave with our utility tax. So I hope that answers the question in the chat. That and a bond, I think, could be even more restricted, right? Like, because a bond will be like, you could just say a sidewalk bond, like a bond just to build out all the sidewalks. So that you could make it that specific, and yeah, you have to stick to the project list. You can make it a little more broad, like sidewalk lighting and community facilities bond. Then you have multiple ways to use it. But for the most part, all of these options are pretty restrictive in what, like, we will have to define what they're for, and they will be 2/3 vote special taxes.
For the like sidewalk example, aren't those the ones that are planned currently? Those are being paid for by state grants, correct? Or are they being paid for by the county?
No, they're being paid for by this thing called Measure A, which is a tax that everybody in Santa Barbara County pays for transportation improvements.
Okay.
So that's the most recent. We got
Mhm.
550,000 from Measure A recently, like a year ago. It hasn't been deployed yet.
That was the
And other areas like that, sidewalks has been funded by UCSB in the past. Like they their long range development plan and commitments to the county to pay certain amounts of money to the county for that growth. So a lot of sidewalks that were done in the 2010s were funded through LRDP money. And then we got the first batch of Measure A ever for IV for the sidewalks recently. There's not a lot of sidewalk funding sources. I guess there is another secret seventh option that we would just not do because we don't have control over it. But CSA 31, County Service Area 31, is a dependent special district controlled by the county that has like ongoing revenue and a huge fund balance of 700,000 for sidewalks and lighting. They could another benefit assessment to raise that, but that would have to be voted on only by property owners and has to be conducted by the county. So it's not worth discussing because it's not us. It's not. We can ask them to, but you can ask anything.
Could you ask them for their money?
We've asked for that $700,000 since the day we formed, and 250,000 was allocated to be spent on lighting 3 years ago, and not a penny has been spent.
From the
So
county.
it's just something I should follow up with Florida County.
They know about it. A lot of the holdup now is on Edison.
Getting the money from.
No, Edison is the ones who would install the lights.
Yes.
And so that's the trick with lighting is like we'd have zero, like even if we got a bond to build all the lights you ever want in IV,
You couldn't necessarily build them.
you might not be able to spend the money if Edison is not moving on it.
Yeah.
Like they will eventually in like 8 years be like, oh, you wanted that street light here, we'll come do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that exaggerated, but it's been, I mean, we've been waiting just to hear back on simple questions since July from Edison on the lighting.
And they must subcontract out.
Yeah, but they're such a big company, it's hard to deal with. And same with sidewalks. Sidewalks can consume a lot of money really fast
I'm sure.
because a lot of it's like buying right of way. And so 20 million is not going to buy you them. I mean, it will complete a lot of the network probably. I'm just guessing right now. Like we need to look at more specifics, but
I
500.
never thought of that. You have to buy right away to put in a sidewalk.
Oh yeah, they're putting in a sidewalk on Camino Pescadero leading up into DP. And the amount the right of way cost that they need to get from Ed St. George is ludicrously. They're like it's gonna be the most expensive sidewalk in Santa Barbara.
Wow.
But it connects to their new ADA path and like it's a lot of ADA reasons it's being done. But
And the homeowner gets to set the price.
I mean, they're the landowner. They're getting their land bought by the government.
Oh, they.
Yeah, and so yeah, 20 million can go pretty fast. Like with 500,000, I think we're doing like 5 or 6 small sidewalk infills.
Wow.
And there's not that many, like our goal for sidewalks would be to like have a line of sidewalks in every street,
Like, as usual.
like everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Normal, yeah.
there's not that, there is definitely not a crazy amount left to get there, less than before, because all the investments from the 2010s, but it's still not even close. And then you get into the whole like, yeah, there's a sidewalk there, but there's also a utility pole. Now we have to pay to remove
Relocate
that
it.
and all that. So again, but there's no other money to be doing this stuff. So if we wanted to really make it happen on the sidewalks and lighting, you kind of have to do a bond. I would say like a bond, like you could do a tax and then say part of the tax is for these things. And that could be true to like the ongoing costs of the lighting, right? Like paying the bills for the lights, paying the maintenance for the sidewalks. For sure, you need a tax to do that. But the building of them, yeah, no tax will be enough. You would have to have really high tax to keep use just for pure building. Or you just have a smaller amount that you do a certificate of participation on. But even then, the scale is not going to be anything the same as a bond. So these are definitely, and then again, the bond you cannot use for staff, you could not use for most costs, except infrastructure. Pros and cons to both.
All right, well, thank you for the education and organization of your thoughts.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
I had some questions about two. One was like you said for lighting, we're having problems with Edison. Are we getting like a lot of help with our like state reps to push Edison along, or is it mainly just us contacting them?
It's the county dealing with it.
Okay.
So maybe we should have the county ask for that help. But yeah, that's a good idea. We should get our state reps more involved in this.
Yeah, because they can help us with Edison, especially like that seems like the silliest place to be stuck.
Yeah,
You know?
it is. It's the silly, like everything else is done now.
Yeah. All right, yeah. For bonds, generating interest always sounds nice if you can't do from tax, but
yeah, you could use the interest for more projects.
Yeah.
Like mobility projects, maybe. Implementing our mobility plan is not cheap.
Yeah.
And again, you could dedicate part of the tax for that, but again, the scale is going to be different, right? Like you could say 50,000 a year, 100,000 a year. I mean, that wouldn't be in the tax measure itself, but you could say like this will be towards these things like mobility and sidewalk improvements, and yeah, you could do some things for sure, like things like the bulb outs, or when you paint the red curb and you have the bike parking and all that stuff to protect the daylighting, and so people don't park there like because of structural change. That's the kind of scale of infrastructure improvement you can definitely do through a tax without a lot of taking up the whole thing. You could do pedestrian lighting, like smaller scale lighting through the tax, but to do like the big build out, more of a bond. But it's not saying the tax couldn't pay for lighting and sidewalk improvements. It definitely could. A tax could have a fund to have, sidewalks better maintained.
Yeah.
Like right now there's a maintenance schedule, but if we want a better maintenance schedule, we could pay for more people to be out shaving sidewalks and putting in infill, like, not infill of a new sidewalk, but like if there's a crack that's raised, you can do like the asphalt thing. So we can do more of that with the tax for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Things to think about.
Yeah.
And we have a capital reserve of 300,000. It's not much, but it's also there to do matching. So you could say the tax could be put towards the matching funds. And that could be a way to like really bring in lots of money using the tax instead of a bond.
Yeah.
So you can say like, 100,000 a year as a match. You could get like 600,000-700,000 on $100,000 match maybe. So I don't know. These are somewhat made up numbers, but these are numbers we've kind of encountered before. So it's not like the tax could not be used on sidewalks and lighting. It's just like the scale of it. Yeah.
Right.
All right, well, those are some good ideas.
Wait, I have one question. So for the taxes, how would that change if IVCSD became a city? Because certain taxes, like utility users tax, is designated for certain things, but then if we became a city, our scope would increase. Would we then be able to transfer that money to address our new needs, or would we have to pass a new tax to address new needs?
Maybe a little bit of both. Kind of like a lot of the things that the CSD does would be things the city does, but yeah, they would stay as special taxes.
Okay.
Yeah, they would be restricted to some areas. Like you probably, I'm just guessing here. I don't want like anybody to take my word as law, but like maybe you couldn't pay for the city's finance department with the CSD's old utility tax. Maybe, yeah. No, I'm definitely not a lawyer in tax.
Yeah. Would we be able to pass an ordinance, or sorry, not an ordinance, a proposition for the voters to just convert the existing tax to a general fund tax?
I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's. Here's the best example. A city would have to pay for law enforcement costs.
Yeah.
Taxes are not necessarily for that.
Okay. So we would have to
pay. Yeah, they do pay for some law enforcement, like the safety stations and that, like public safety was. So maybe it depends on how the city council interprets it and the voters interpret. It's a lot of interpretation. Measure R was written very broadly, and so a lot of things that the voters approved in Measure R would be things the city would be able to do too.
It's common in governmental budgeting and accounting that you have dedicated revenue streams for dedicated purposes. So
yeah,
that wouldn't be a problem.
No, it wouldn't be uncommon.
Just, you know, you call it out and show the nexus between that and the purposes that it was acted for.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, what was I say? And then the city will have new revenues like property tax and sales tax that are general fund revenue. So that would be free. And if we pass a new, it'll be a general tax, or it could be a general tax. So. And then we have a question in the chat. Does the IVCSD have to coordinate with the county to implement public works improvement if a bond or tax is passed? The answer is yes, because they own all that stuff. They own the lights, they own the sidewalks, they own the road and the right of way. It's all theirs. We would just be supercharging what they do.
We have a participation from a citizen who's in the chat.
Yeah, this is iPad Airs, their name. Yeah.
Hello, thanks for joining us.
A good question.
Okay, so we ready to move on to our next meeting scheduling?
Yeah.
Let's do it. So for us, I would say like later into April is cool.
Okay.
Like maybe the week of the 20th or maybe the week of the 27th potentially, but 20th probably better.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, fine. We can
Okay.
make that work.
Yeah.
Week of the 20th would work.
My schedule is pretty open next quarter, so I can do whatever.
Right. Did you have another date in mind?
No, any of those will work. I'm just checking
The 22nd works
at the same time.
22nd?
Okay with me.
Yeah,
Works for me.
that would work. April 22nd at 5:30.
5:30.
We'll
And
be
yeah,
in
by
this room again.
Yeah, we'll do it up here. And yeah, we'll have done some annual reports by then, so we can look into some specific budgets. And Jenna will be done with her zero-based budgeting for public works by then. So we will look at each line, that department's budget, and you weren't on the committee last year, Catherine. The way we do it is like there's a spreadsheet with every possible thing that could be funded, like new and not new.
Yeah.
And then we go one by one, like fund this one, this one, and then they all add up into the budget. So, but it's very line by line. Like $600 marketing materials for compost.
Yeah.
Like that's how detailed it is. And then we just choose like, do we want this or do we not want this?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I really appreciate your organization on this.
Yeah, it's new from last year. This is a new thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were very organized last year and 10 years prior, so I'm excited for even more. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect. It's April 22nd.
Is there anything else you guys want on the future agendas besides the usual stuff? Anything you want to look at next month more specifically?
No.
No, that
What we
was,
had on there was.
that was a lot.
Yeah,
I think you covered it all
Yeah.
and then some.
yeah. The COLA will be on the next agenda for your consideration. But, like looking at the number, like what is the CPI? Do we want to use this CPI or not? You could use any number you want. Our policy just says look at whatever the CPI is and then go
Right.
from there. Yeah, you actually will look at two departments, public works and operations, and then the COLA next time, and housing. So there's a lot to do next meeting. And then in May, yeah, we'll look at the community engagement stuff. And then that's like most of our organization done. Yeah.
Sounds good to me, like we're on top of our stuff.
We're on it.
All right,
Good.
thanks very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Meeting adjourned. I'll end the meeting.
Thank you.
Right, thank